Albert Einstein is one of the most iconic scientists in history. His name is practically a synonym for genius. His theory of relativity changed how we understand time, space, and gravity. But in recent years, whispers and accusations have emerged. Some say Einstein didn't come up with his theories on his own. Some even claim he stole them. Is there any truth to these claims? Or is it just another conspiracy theory? In this video, we take a closer look at what really happened. The claim, Einstein wasn't original. Critics argue that Einstein took credit for ideas that weren't fully his. They say he borrowed heavily from scientists who came before him. Some even suggest he was more of a public figure than a true scientific pioneer. One common accusation is that Einstein's theory of relativity wasn't entirely original. People point to the work of scientists like Hendrik Lorentz, Henri Poincaré, James Clerk Maxwell, and others who had laid the groundwork for relativity. The background. Here's the thing. Science is rarely about one person making a sudden discovery out of nowhere. Most scientific breakthroughs are the result of years, even centuries, of work by many people. Ideas build upon each other. Before Einstein, Lorentz had already developed equations to explain how objects behave at high speeds. Poincaré had written about the idea that the speed of light is constant and time might not be absolute. Maxwell had formulated the laws of electromagnetism, which Einstein later relied on. Einstein didn't deny this. He acknowledged the contributions of others, but he also brought something new. What Einstein actually did. Einstein's 1905 paper on special relativity was different from anything before it. Instead of trying to explain the movement of objects through a fixed ether, like Lorentz and others did, Einstein threw out the idea of ether altogether. He based everything on two simple assumptions. The laws of physics are the same for all observers. The speed of light is constant, no matter how fast you're moving. From these two ideas, he showed that time and space are not fixed. They are relative, depending on how fast you're moving. That was a huge leap. Einstein's genius was not just in having the ideas. It was in how he saw the whole picture and simplified it. He removed the unnecessary parts and gave the world a clearer framework. The Mileva-Merrick theory. Another popular claim is that Einstein's first wife, Mileva-Merrick, secretly helped him with his theories. Some suggest she co-authored his early work or did the math behind his papers. It's true that Mileva was a physicist and that she and Einstein worked closely during their student years. They exchanged letters discussing science, and they even called each other partners in science. But there's no solid evidence that Mileva co-wrote any of Einstein's published papers. Her name doesn't appear on them. Also, letters from Einstein show he often explained concepts to her, not the other way around. Some scholars believe she supported his work, but didn't contribute to the actual theory. Still, the idea that her role was overlooked raises questions about how women in science have been ignored historically. Even if she wasn't a co-author, she may have influenced Einstein's thinking in ways we can't fully trace. The Nobel Prize controversy. Einstein won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. But here's the twist. It wasn't for relativity. It was for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, which helped launch quantum theory. Some people see this as proof that the scientific world didn't trust or believe in relativity. That's not quite true. By the early 1920s, relativity was already gaining support. But the Nobel Committee was cautious. Relativity was still new and controversial, and some members didn't understand it fully. So they chose to award Einstein for a different contribution. That doesn't mean he stole anything. It just shows how conservative scientific institutions can be. The anti-Semitic campaigns. During Einstein's lifetime, especially in Germany, he was a target of hateful attacks. Some critics accuse him of plagiarism, not because of his work, but because of his Jewish identity. Right-wing and anti-Semitic groups in the 1920s and 30s claimed Einstein's theories were Jewish frauds. They tried to discredit him using racism and propaganda. These efforts failed, but the rumors stuck around in fringe groups. Unfortunately, some of these old claims have resurfaced online in recent years. They are often repeated without proper evidence. What the experts say. Most historians and physicists agree that Einstein was not a thief. He built on previous work. Yes, but that's how science works. He made bold leaps others hadn't dared to make. He connected dots in a way that no one else had. Einstein also published his ideas openly. He didn't hide them or take secret credit. In fact, many scientists who read his 1905 paper said it was a breath of fresh air, clear, simple, and revolutionary. Why do these claims keep coming back? Part of it is human nature. We love to bring heroes down to earth. It makes us feel better. If a genius like Einstein cheated, then maybe we're not so far behind. Another reason is the internet. It allows misinformation to spread quickly. A YouTube video or blog post can make bold claims, and many people believe them without checking the facts. Finally, Einstein's fame plays a role. He was such a towering figure that any criticism draws attention. It's easy to question someone when they're seen as untouchable. The fact remains that he didn't steal his theories. He stood on the shoulders of giants, just like every great scientist. What made him special was how he rearranged old ideas into something completely new.